And hello, everybody, and welcome. I am Randy Crowan, and you are here at the Real Housewives of Trailer Park County reunion special, part 2. We ended with some real fireworks at the end of part 1. We'll catch you all up. So if you weren't here for last week, don't worry about that. We'll be sure that you know what's happening as we get those housewives back in the arena together. Before we start, the cameras aren't quite rolling for the show yet. I'm just coming out here to say hello and warm up the audience a little bit. So hello, everybody. It's super to have you here. Let me mention a couple of important things. First, tonight's show is sponsored by Synergy Theater. Synergy Theater is an improvisational theater company, and they perform full-length improvised plays. They just make it up based on suggestions from the audience. So that's kind of weird and random. But if you want to watch them do that, you can watch them do that every Thursday night at 6:00 p.m. California time and Friday at 7:00 California time. So check them out. Synergy Theater. You won't believe it's improvised. And our main sponsor for the show is Adirondack Propane Products. That's right. In fact, I'm sitting here right now at the Adirondack Fire Pit, and that fire pit is fueled by good, healthy Adirondack propane. So if you need something hot, you turn to Adirondack. All right, now, the next thing I need to tell everybody is that once we bring our housewives out here, you absolutely will be able to ask them questions in real time, and they will answer those questions for you. I'll be asking a bunch of questions myself, but that doesn't mean we don't want your help. So if you want to ask questions to our housewives tonight, then the way you're going to do that is by logging into your YouTube channel. Log into your YouTube account here at our YouTube channel, and you will be able to use that interactive chat feature on YouTube, and that is how we are going to communicate with each other, and that's how you'll be able to ask questions. So go ahead and log into YouTube, and if you would rather just kind of sit back and watch on your large screen TV tonight, that's okay too. You don't have to do that. But if you want to chat with us and offer us some questions that we could ask our housewives and find out what's going on with them, then that's the way you're going to do it. All right. I think that is everything you need to know. It's time to roll tape. So get ready and enjoy the show. And hello, America, and welcome to part 2 of the Real Housewives of Trailer Park County reunion show. I'm Randy Crowan, and I'm sitting here at the beautiful Adirondack Fire Pit here in Trailer Park County. And yes, that is real Adirondack propane that's making that fire box real hot for us. So thank you, Adirondack Propane, for providing that for us. Now, I know you don't want to sit here and listen to me talk forever. You don't want to hear me talk at all. What you want to do is you want to meet the Real Housewives of Trailer Park County, and we're going to start by meeting them one at a time. Remember, if you have a question that you would like to ask our housewives, and it could be anything. It could be their favorite food, where they grew up, who they're in love with, anything at all. You just toss out those questions on your YouTube chat, and we'll be sure to ask them for you. Let's get started by bringing out Roxy Bendover. Here she is. Oh, Roxy, you are looking awesome.
Thank you, Randy.
Well, Roxy, I have to say you are looking beautiful, but you're actually looking a little upset, a little annoyed, a little angry. What's going on, Roxy?
You have to ask, Randy, after last week, after my learning.
All right. Go on.
Well, after learning
Well, we
that.
better catch the audience up. I'll take it over for just a minute, Roxy. We better catch the audience up on what happened last week, because it did seem that you and DeLorean, after having some lovers spat, finally reconciled, and the two of you were going to live happily ever after until we saw that one final clip at the end in which we discovered that DeLorean doesn't really love you at all. She was playing you for a fool. She was using you in order to have a safe place to land here in the trailer park and get away from the trouble she was facing in her hometown. That's why you're upset, Roxy. And what are you going to do about it?
Well, I'm going to get revenge, because that's what I do. I'm not a soft place for someone to land, Randy. It's going to be very
well. Do you have some ideas about what kind of revenge you're going to be seeking?
Can she hear this?
Oh, absolutely not.
Good. I'm going to kick her out of the trailer park on her big fat. She used me to get here. She's not going to stay.
You do have the ability to kick her out of the trailer park because you are the president of the board of directors of the park. Isn't that right, Roxy?
Oh, not only am I president, Randy, but as you might remember, I am a third generation owner of this park.
Yes. Now, Roxy, I imagine that will be a very powerful weapon to wield against DeLorean for breaking your heart. But is it enough to heal yourself? Allow me to remind the audience that in times of trouble, you tend to spiral downward into your plastic surgery addiction.
Well, as you may remember, I have been struggling with that lately. All this roller coaster stuff with DeLorean has really got to me. And yes, I'm struggling. I have an appointment for cheek implants.
Well, Roxy, maybe something will happen in tonight's reunion that will allow the two of you to heal once again and will keep you away from the surgeon's scalpel.
Well, let's hope so, but I am not counting on it.
All right. Well, why don't you go off into your star trailer and we will talk to you again when we bring everybody out. Now, you remember out there watching the show, if you have any questions for any of our housewives, you just go ahead and put them right up there into your YouTube chat and we'll be sure to ask them. But in the meantime, let's bring out DeLorean Gray. Here she is.
Hi, Randy.
DeLorean, let's get right to it. First of all, va-va-voom, you look amazing.
Oh, thanks. I was having kind of a bad hair day, but I just feel invigorated right now.
Well, I've got to tell you something. We were just out here talking to Roxy, and Roxy, of course, is devastated by the revelation from last week's end of the show that you were just using her. And I'm going to tell you something I'm not supposed to tell you. Roxy is planning on kicking you out of the trailer park.
What?
That's right.
She can't do that.
She can.
No, she can't.
She absolutely can.
I won't stand for it.
What are you going to do?
I'm going to beg for her forgiveness. I'm going to do something. Oh dear.
Well, I'll tell you what, it seems, DeLorean, like you're very stressed out, and that allows us to ask you a question that's coming from Karen Harrell, all the way from Martinez, California. And Karen Harrell from Martinez wants to know, DeLorean, how do you deal with stress?
Well, I eat chocolate for one, and I devote all my time to my business. I have a business where I make women's products. It's called My Kitty. I got sued for calling it Hello Kitty, so I changed it to My Kitty, and I've dedicated my life to this business.
And what are some of the products that you make?
Well, you can find them at Sharper Image. They're personal massagers for women. They're also at Brookstone. And I also have a massage chair that I call my precious kitty. And typically people don't want to get off of it after an hour's worth of massaging in the Brookstone shops.
DeLorean, let me press you on something. In our last week's reunion special, you confessed to loving Roxy. You told her you didn't. You told her you did. At the end, you didn't. Once and for all, DeLorean, honest answer. How do you feel about Roxy?
Honestly, I love her.
Well, it might be a little too late to convince her of that, and you might just be on the receiving end of an eviction notice. So we will see what happens. DeLorean, thank you so much for talking to us. Glad to see you. You're looking great. Why don't you go back and hang out in your Stars trailer? And in the meantime, we're going to bring Gloretta Chantel out here. Gloretta, meow.
Oh, Randy, you're so flirtatious sometimes.
Loretta, your hair looks like the volcano erupting into the night.
Well, I did have a little wash and set earlier this week, and it's still maintaining its buoyancy.
Loretta, last week it came out that you were being betrayed by your husband, Roger, and Chastity, our fourth housewife. There was quite a row about it, but at the end of the episode last week, it seems that you two found a certain resting place. What happened in between last week and this week, and how is your relationship with Chastity Monaco right now?
Well, Randy, I immediately invited her to my kitchen where I presented an idea to her that I wanted to compile a recipe book of all the ladies of our park. And I thought she would be very open to this idea, but I was surprised at her reluctance and reticence. I asked her specifically for her blue waffle recipe, and she resisted giving it to me, and I don't understand. I reached out.
So you think things are not quite resolved between the two of you?
I'm not sure. Besides that, Roger insisted on staying on the other side of the partition between the kitchenette and the den, and I'm not sure what he was doing in there.
Well, I would like to dig into that a little bit more because, in fact, we have a question from Heather Adams from Martinez, California. Heather Adams from Martinez wants to know, Gloretta, how are things with your husband since last week? So let's really delve.
Roger and I, we've been through so much. Roger has challenged me and pushed me to become a better woman. And we've taken this opportunity of challenge to see if we can go deeper in our relationship together. So we've reached out to Reverend Cherry Moon for some counseling through the church. And I say, just in 5 days, I've noticed a difference in his attention to me and his warmth towards me.
Gloretta, Roger is a man of the cloth himself, isn't that right?
Yes, he is, Randy. In fact, he does have a very close relationship with Reverend Cherry Moon. They both studied together at the Bible Institute in Atlanta, Georgia. And that's where they met when they were young men. And they shared a room together when they were in the Institute.
Gloretta, you are, as they say, the preacher's wife. But let me ask you this question. Are you the woman by his side, or are you the power behind the throne?
Well, that depends upon which room you're in the trailer. In some rooms, I stand behind him with great force. And in other rooms, I stand beside him. It really depends upon what the instant is.
Loretta, that seems like you're evading the question.
Yes, I am. Randy, I think it's important for Roger to present a very powerful, image to the public if he wants to continue growing his ministries. And so I could say, yes, I am a force behind the man.
And maybe you can tell us about that time that Roger had a little bit of a problem and you had to cover for him in church.
Well, if you're referring to the time when the pipe organist refused to play because he insisted, for some unknown reason, that Roger was not turning the pages of the music properly, but instead brushing his hand across that gentleman's lower torso, which I believe is not true at all. But
Loretta, are you insinuating that your husband Roger has been making advances towards other men?
oh, you did not hear me say that.
I absolutely heard you say that. Now come clean, Loretta. If you have something to confess about Roger, I want to hear it right now.
Roger loves men. He loves me too. He loves women and men. He loves all people equally.
You're betrayed by Roger, aren't you? Time and time again.
Randy, why do you need to do this on live television?
Well, because it makes me rich.
Yes, on a weekly basis, Roger finds a way to humiliate me and find a way to embarrass me in front of my peers.
Why do you stay with him?
Because I have loved him since I was 14 when I saw him up on the pulpit. And I thought, there is a man with a mission. There is a man that needs a strong woman behind him. And at the age of 14, I knew that was me.
All right. Well, I hope things work out, and I hope you are able to come to some type of happy terms with Chastity. It would be a shame if we can't all be friends when all of this is over. Gloretta, why don't you go on back to your trailer, and we are going to bring out Chastity Monaco, ladies and gentlemen. Hello, Chastity.
Hello, Randy.
Chastity, I can't tell if that's some of your hair swooping over your forehead or if that is the breath of an angel in flight.
Randy, you see that I am a good soul, a spirit that is here on earth to help everyone. You are a gem.
I have to say, Chastity, and that is what I came away with most from the end of last week's episode. Your intent to be helpful almost to a selfless degree.
Thank you. I consider myself incredibly selfless, so much so that I have to be the person above all others to make them see their true inner loving selves.
Now, you did betray Gloretta by sleeping with Roger, her husband.
Right. And betrayal is really just a misunderstanding, obviously, of helping. And if one happens to enjoy themselves repeatedly, is that so wrong?
I don't know. We have another question from Karen Harrell from Martinez, California. Karen Harrell asks, Chastity, what is your most prized possession?
Oh, well, I don't get to say this very often, but my most prized possession is something I've never opened. It was from my 7th mother. If you all recall, I've had many mothers in my life as an orphan, and it was a ladybug nightlight I carry with me at all times. I do not take it out because I don't want the battery to die or for it to get injured in any way, but it makes me feel like I'm protected in this world by little bugs that are cute and bright and remind me of my cute and bright purpose in life for others.
Chastity, last week it came out that you are appearing in some local car dealership commercials, but the way you got that job was by sleeping with, was it? Oh, yes, Bob Rohrman.
Bob Rohrman, yes.
Bob Rohrman. I also remember you jumping at the chance to sleep with DeLorean at a certain point, and it seems like, to be fair and honest, Chastity, it seems like you'll just sleep with anybody at any time. Is that the case?
Yes.
And how do you justify that, or do you feel you need to?
free love. I don't need to justify that. Our society is repressed from our true beings as loving, natural beings who want to share each other's bodies. If I have that urge, why is that so wrong? It must be what God intends.
Well, maybe so. Do you think you'll keep your hands off of Roger? Not right. Do you think you'll keep your hands off of Loretta's Roger for at least the rest of our season together here?
Well, since our season is already over, if he comes knocking on my trailer door, no.
All right. Well, you don't have to defend that to me. Hey, Chastity, thank you so much. I'll tell you what, Chastity, why don't you stay right here? Because we're going to bring out all the housewives now here to the Adirondack fire pit, fueled by Adirondack propane. Ladies, once again, say hello to each other.
Hi, darling.
This.
Hi, Chastity. Hi, Gloretta.
Hi, Roxy. Hi, Gloretta. Hi, DeLorean.
Hi, Cassidy. Hi, Gloretta. Roxy.
Mm. Mm.
Roxy, I'm saying hi to you.
Well, I didn't think you said hi to people you didn't love.
Roxy, we're going to have to do a little sidebar outside of the camera. I just can't take this and my makeup is running.
Oh, God forbid. Fine, because I have something to tell you.
What?
Oh, you want me to tell you here in front of everybody, or do you want to do?
Yes, we do.
DeLorean, you have 2 weeks to leave this trailer park. You are being evicted.
No, Randy, I thought you were just kidding, that it was just so that the television cameras would improve the ratings and all of that. No, Roxy, you cannot kick me out of here. Where will I go? What will I do? Who will I sleep with? I don't know. How will I survive?
I guess you'll just have to find another fall girl, another soft place to land.
Oh,
And it won't be here, DeLorean.
DeLorean, you can stay on my soft bed in my trailer.
Oh, no, she can't. She cannot be on this property. As the owner and president of the board, I have that right.
Did you get a restraining order?
No, but good idea. I will.
Now, I'm sorry to interrupt this right in the middle of a very juicy argument, but I think the question we just had from one of our viewers feeds right into the moment we're experiencing. And the question is from Sean Hansen. Roxy, how come your lips look more pumped up this week?
Well, I was so upset about DeLorean, and I couldn't get my cheek implants right away, so I had my lips plumped.
Yes, DeLorean, it seems like Roxy is slipping back into her plastic surgery addiction, spiraling downward.
So obviously everyone is blaming me for her addiction.
That is right.
Yeah.
Not fair. You all need to go.
Her language, oh my.
That's the language of guilt. She knows she's wrong.
I can hear.
Chastity, you were going to try to extend an olive branch of friendship and maybe a soft place for her to land. Maybe you can go find her and talk to her, and we'll stay here and we won't eavesdrop.
I'll try. She didn't like my advice last time, but I'll try.
Yeah, and that's not true, everybody. Of course, as soon as we discover exactly where they went, we're going to bring our cameras over there so we'll be able to hear everything they say to each other, even when they think they have privacy. In the meantime, as we're waiting for them to pop up on our remote camera view, Roxy and Gloretta, is there anything, Gloretta, that you might be able to say to Roxy that will help her in this time of stress and need?
Roxy, I understand how it feels to have your heart broken by the one that you love. And I just want to say that all wounds heal with time and pastry butter.
Oh, darling, thank you so much. I've invested in pastry butter, and I'll get some more. In fact, it's very good for my lips.
It's a
But I have
balm.
to tell you something.
Yes.
I overheard DeLorean talking about her Hello, or should I say, My Kitty products. Sounds to me, Gloretta, like she stole your idea. Have you
I
checked
was,
it out on Sharper Image?
I was restraining myself from bringing that up. I thought maybe I would talk to my attorney first, but Roxy, I think you're right because I thought it was interesting when she was interested in my vibrating panty liner. And then the next thing you know, I was on a flight to Wisconsin of all places, and I opened up the shopping mall, air mall catalog, and there it was. Hello, my kitty vibrating panty liners. So yes, she stole my idea, and that's probably not the only idea. I'm sure she has already manufactured vibrating ring accoutrement for men.
I think so. You and I need to get together and
Roxy,
go ahead, Randy.
Roxy, why are you still so connected to her?
The only connection I have with her is that I hate her. And you know,
All
hate
right.
is the best friend of love.
I think our cameras finally found out where they had gone off to. Let's eavesdrop and see what's going on over there.
What do you want, Chastity?
I want you to calm down, find your inner spirit, and realize that you did a bad thing to Roxy.
Well, I don't know that it was so bad.
It wasn't so bad. I was lying. It wasn't so bad. She's uptight. She needs that, like, she needs one of your kitty products, honestly.
I'm so embarrassed, Chastity. I got caught just talking about my inner feelings, but I didn't really mean that. It doesn't make my skin crawl. It's just that I've never loved a woman like that. So when she touches me, I tingle, and I mistook that for repulsion and revulsion. And oh, Chastity.
Well, DeLorean, in my experience, when I felt that, just try again.
I don't think she'll ever speak to me again. She put a restraining order on me, and now I have to move out in 2 weeks.
Darling, she hasn't put the restraining on you yet. Touch her now and see what happens. You don't need speaking. You just touch her hand in a manner of how I would touch you. Just right now, if I touched your hand like so, and
Oh,
a tingle.
it wasn't so creepy, but I know you're not selective, Chastity, and I'm just gonna wait until Roxy sees me again, and just sees me. I just think she needs to really focus on my love. She can see it in my eyes or something, but how can she do that when a restraining order says that I have to be like miles away from her? She can't see me up front.
DeLorean, you lie every second. No one knows what your eyes are actually saying. Come on.
How dare you? God.
I'm you. I'm being honest. I'm the most honest person here.
Are you kidding me? You're so... God. You know what?
Uncalled for.
Randy, I'm coming back. You know what?
Fine.
All right, I think I see them coming back over here. Well, what do you know? Roxy, you saw that just as much as I did. What do you make of what you just overheard?
I'm listening too.
DeLorean, is it true that you tingle when I touch you?
Yes.
Baby?
Yes. Yes. And I'm sorry. I thought it was because it made me want to throw up, that it was a bad thing, but it isn't a bad thing. It's that I love you, and it just makes me tingle, and the throwing up is a sign of love.
Florian, I just wondered, did you get your shingles vaccine? Because maybe it's shingles that makes you tingle.
Oh, do you think so? When people touch you, I hear that it's painful. That could be it.
I just thought I'd put that out there.
So instead I have some communicable disease and that's it. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
DeLorean, you are really a piece of work. You don't know who you are, and you don't know who you love. The mere mention of shingles and it's not love anymore. Well, you know what? I don't care if I love you or not.
Well,
Well, that's insulting.
all right, now, as a matter of fact, first of all, I do have an awesome question from someone in our studio audience for you, DeLorean. And DeLorean, the question is, has anyone ever said that you look like Jen Shah from The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City?
Well, actually, she looks like me. That's what I've heard, and that she fashioned her entire look after mine because I am that gorgeous. And so she's so jealous. So when I watch that show, I'm thinking, you're like taking my look? Are you kidding me? So yeah, people see the comparison, but obviously I'm like far more gorgeous.
DeLorean, it is time for a little bit of truth to come out. In fact, it's time for a lot of truth to come out. And I happen to have a clip that's going to help reveal some of that. You might remember, DeLorean, there was that time back in the season when you were feeling so burdened with guilt and you needed to reveal your truth to someone that you asked Roger, Gloretta's husband Roger, to come over and take your confession. Now, what you didn't know is Roger was drunk that day and Gloretta snuck in to your trailer back to back the way you were expecting to deliver your confession, and she was the one who took your confession. We heard those stunning confessions you made when you thought you were talking to your priest, and we are going to share those with everybody now. So once again, I'm going to just ask the booth to cue that up. This is the scene that takes place in DeLorean's trailer when DeLorean thought she was talking to Roger, but was actually confessing to Gloretta. And roll that clip.
Well, see, I got thrown into jail because I was throwing a pancake breakfast for all of our lovely firemen, and I wanted to show them how much I appreciate everything that they're doing. So I went to Safeway and I got all of the ingredients and took them to the pancake breakfast. But what I didn't realize when all of the security people from Safeway followed me there and arrested me and threw me in jail was that it wasn't paid for. But see, they didn't understand that I had asked them to donate it. I just forgot to send them the information about it being a donation. So they thought I just stole it. And it was a huge misunderstanding. I wasn't stealing. It was a donation and they just didn't know.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I hear you, darling. Yeah,
I'm so tired of being misunderstood.
you're a child of God, DeLorean.
Well, how can I absolve myself of that? Now I have like a record.
Well, you could help Gloretta out.
In what
Uh,
way?
You could assist her in the annual potluck and help her gather recipes for her annual potluck.
And is that how I'll get absolution?
Yes,
So
the
instead,
Lord looks kindly upon the sharing of recipes and food items.
so Hail Marys are really more just recipes. So I can say a Hail recipe and that's going to absolve me.
Yeah, and if you do the dishes too afterwards, that would be very good. And you are a lovely young woman who has done no wrong in the eyes of God.
Well, I'm so glad that you and God understand because it really was a donation.
You could also tell Gloretta that she looks really pretty. That would be very nice too.
Okay, I will make sure that I share that with her. Oh dear.
All right. Well, There it is. There it is.
That's embarrassing, Randy.
It's embarrassing for me, DeLorean.
But you're the one who did it knowingly, Loretta.
I was trying to help her out.
Oh,
Roger couldn't do it that day. What was I gonna do?
Well, you never even told me, Loretta. That is a huge betrayal. And I even did what he said to do. Or it was you. And I said, you look so pretty, but I didn't mean it.
Oh, how dare you? Well, I'm sure that you will not be absolved of your sins if you did not mean what you said.
And how many Hale recipes did I have to give? Forked them over left and right.
If you would just give me that blue waffle recipe that you have, I'm sure it'd be all good.
I'm never giving it to you. You're a...
I can't believe that you would bring this out. This is just humiliating for both of us.
No, you're just a...
Oh,
yeah.
DeLorean, it's time you know that you're a...
All right, all right, all right. Why don't we try to let this simmer a little bit? Roxy, let me just check in with you. Where are you now on the eviction? Are you still determined to evict DeLorean?
Absolutely. I can't trust her, and I don't see how anybody in this lovely park can.
Well,
Loretta, she said, yes.
we did have that moment. I don't think it's completely fair to put it all on DeLorean.
Chastity, you want to tell the audience what you're talking about?
Of course. There was that moment at the beginning of the season when we locked eyes in front of Roxy's trailer. I handed her my newly made special recipe blueberry waffles. And
now say no more, because we actually have this clip all queued up and ready to go. So sure. The one in front of Chastity's trailer with Chastity and Roxy. So let's just get that ready to go in the booth and take it away, clip.
I made sure there were extra special blueberries on the Eggo, my waffle.
I love your blueberries as well as your waffles. They basically melt in my mouth, Chas.
I caught you looking in my window the other day at my blueberries.
I think you liked it because I caught you looking at me, looking at you, and well, that's when I knew, Chas, that there's something special between us.
I think so. Every day I think I fall in love with someone new, but you're different.
Really, Chas, do you really feel that way about me, unlike any other person you've ever locked eyes with?
You're the most mature person I ever have. And I don't mean that in a plastic surgery kind of way. I mean that in your eyes. No one can change what's in their eyes.
No, and DeLorean and I are, dating, but I don't get that special feeling with her like I do with you. I feel like you really see me for me.
Have you ever heard of tantric lovemaking?
Of course.
When you, And I have been looking for the perfect person whose eyes match my eyes, where we can take the energetic spirit from above and take it in from your body into my body and just let it cycle in and out and in and out.
In and out. Oh, that sounds wonderful. And by the way, I used to be a gymnast.
I had no idea. You look like it.
Well, it helps with the old tantric sex, let me tell you.
It does.
It does. To be going. But listen, don't tell DeLorean. I don't want to hurt her. I'll have to break it to her my way.
Well, it is time to find out exactly what your way is. So, why don't we face off and let's hear you tell her, Roxy, exactly what she needs to know.
Oh my God, you two-timing. I can't believe this. Tantric sex was our thing. You got that from Chastity?
I knew it before, just like I told you, DeLorean.
It's old hat.
For God's sake, Chastity, what kind of evilness did you bring into this pot conjuring with the devil through the tantra like that? You're just evil incarnate.
Tantra is not evil. It's perfectly natural. If you would try it yourself, you would see. And then Roger wouldn't go flinging around without you and someone.
Chastity, I'm gonna take a pin and pop your fake boobs.
Now, hold on. Roxy, I have to point out that you did not say anything to DeLorean. Do you have a message for her or not?
I do, if I get a chance to say it, DeLorean.
This is your chance.
I loved you, and a part of me does still love you. But I don't feel you ever loved me and looked at me the way that Chastity did. And it's clear that you don't know if you love me or not. And by the way, that restraining order is now effective. Move back.
I can't believe this. I can't. You know what? Roxy, you two-timing.
I only one-timed it. It was a one-time thing.
There is no way I believe you right now. In fact, I saw the date on that little clip, Roxy. You and I were hot and heavy at that time. And here you are doing it with Chastity, and Chastity, you're pretending that you're all like so sweet and helpful. You are nothing but a lying.
Hey, I have an idea. Loretta, Roxy, why don't the two of you see if you could go talk her off whatever ledge she climbed up on? Leave me here with Chastity and give me an opportunity to chat with Chastity just a little bit. Whoa, Chastity, that was a bombshell.
Mm-hmm. Well, sometimes there are special people you come across in life, and it has to be known.
Chastity, I want to delve a little bit deeper inside you and ask you, what's really going on here? Because it seems like you have made a career out of offering yourself loosely to anybody if you think it might help them in the moment. But it never occurred to me that you really felt love for any one of them. Is this thing with Roxy something different for you?
It is something different. She has that glimmer of maturity of a mother in a way, but not a mother, because it's not quite. I'm not looking for mother figures in my life. She has a selflessness about her. As a leader of the trailer park, a strong woman, and I don't come across a lot of strong women. I usually have to help them, but she already knew the tantric ways. She already knows what she wants, and I have got to say, I find her charming, very charming.
Chastity, I have 3 questions for you in order of least important to most important. The first question comes from Preston Larson, and Preston wants to know, besides you 4 ladies, how many other nymphomaniacs live in the park?
Oh, that's a good question. At least 2 others I'm aware of. There's one in remission. Is that a word, remission?
Yeah, but it's not a good word to say. Okay, next question. Can you tell us, what is this trantic love? Is that how you say it?
Tantric
Love. What is that?
Oh, it's a sexual energy type of thing where you feel like you're really breathing in the spirit of someone, and through your nether regions, and you're sharing that energy that way.
Final question, Chastity. What is the relationship with your mother? Tell me about your real mother.
Well, if you recall, Randy, she died in childbirth. So I don't have a real relationship with my mother except a memory book and words that my father gave to me about her. after he got married for the third time and then gave me up for adoption. Then I had 11 mothers completely total. So I don't have a relationship with a mother figure, Randy, and it's impacted my life where I feel like I have to be a sort of mother to others and give love in a true way that women don't appreciate. They don't
But
get appreciated for.
now there's Roxy.
Now there's Roxy.
You said earlier, oh, I'm not looking for a mother figure, but was that really a Freudian burp?
Possibly could be. Maybe not a mother in a grotesque way like that, but someone who can actually care for me this time.
Do you think that's a healthy way to go into a love relationship, Chastity, looking for a mother instead of an equal?
No, it's not. Maybe.
Well, unfortunately, we don't have any time to delve into that any more deeply. So why don't we bring the rest of our housewives back? But Chastity, if there is anything you want to say to Roxy, here she is. Oh, Roxy, we're all over here by the Adirondack fire pit.
I'm getting some milk. Sorry.
He went to go use the litter box.
Gloria.
Here, Chastity, I brought you some milk. You're looking parched.
Oh, thank you so much. That's
Yes,
so
sweetie.
sweet.
You should be wearing a sweater, probably.
It should. It's a little chilly. It's a little chilly.
It is.
Chastity, you came to my kitchen that day wanting me to extend matronly things towards you. And now you focused all your energy on Roxy here.
She's a strong woman that I don't need to help. You need so much help, Loretta. Roxy's a strong, independent woman.
Well, I don't think you're welcome in my kitchen any longer, Chastity.
Can I just say something and interrupt them for just 1 minute?
Since you won't be on the show any longer after tonight, you might as well get it out now.
Well, why haven't the two of you defended me against Roxy? Why are you letting her kick me out? I take you into my house, I feed you those stupid waffles. And now you're just gonna let her kick me out onto the street, you bitches.
No. Okay, DeLauren, do you want to know why I did not invite you to stay in my guest room? You
Why?
want to know why?
Yes, I want to know why.
Because I know that you took my vibrating panty liner idea and you marketed it and you made money off of it. After you tried it that day at my trailer and you said, oh, this is a wonderful idea, Chantel, Miss Chantel, you should market this. And I said, yeah, okay. Next
Well,
thing you know,
if you recall, Loretta, when you handed them over to me, I looked on them and I did not see a patent which would say that there is ownership to that. And you didn't act like you were going to do anything with them. You just said, here, you can use this when I asked for a painted liner.
well, if you had smelled it, you would have known that it's mine, for God's sake.
DeLorean, I tried to help you. I gave you excellent advice to actually be honest, but you're such a broken woman. And not only that, you can't even confess your own feelings at all.
I confessed them. I said that I love Roxy.
Roxy, is it too late for DeLorean? But don't answer that right now, because we are just about out of time and we're going to have to save the answer to the question, is it too late for Roxy and DeLorean to get back together, for part 3 of The Real Housewives coming to you next week? And what about Chastity? Chastity, it seems like you really got your foot caught in the door, as the Music Man says, when he discovers that he fell in love with that young librarian piano teacher. And now you're a little bit worried, aren't you?
I'm a little concerned. I'm not usually concerned about having my heart out there, and now it's a little fragile.
And Loretta, if DeLorean were to leave the show and we were never to see her again because Roxy's kicking her out of the trailer park, how would you pursue her for stealing all of your brilliant intellectual property?
I don't have a restraining order, and she doesn't have a restraining order against me, so I could follow her to the mall if I wanted to, and I could confront her. And furthermore, I'm a little bit concerned. Roxy, don't you know that DeLorean is quite close with the sewer manager of this county? Aren't you worried about backing up in the septic tanks?
She wouldn't.
Oh, try me.
I would tread lightly on that, my dear.
All right, all right. Well, that is the perfect way for me to introduce the third and final sponsor of our show tonight. Speaking of backing up in the septic tanks, if you're feeling your septic tank a little bit backed up, you need Rocco's Laxative. Tastes like chocolate, gets rid of that poop. All right, my friends, I'm afraid this is where we're going to have to leave it. It's very possible we won't be seeing DeLorean Gray in our part 3 of our show because she has been evicted from the trailer park. She leaves with her heart in tatters, her business life dogged by the authorities, and her entire sense of self scrapped and tossed into the trash heap. Just another day in Trailer Park County. My friends, please come back next week for part 3 of the Real Housewives of Trailer Park County reunion show. And that is our show, ladies and gentlemen. And thank you all so much for being here. Once again, it's me. I'm not really Randy Crowan. I'm just Ken Adams of Synergy Theater. And this show, The Real Housewives, was in fact created and directed by Nikki Vilas, who plays DeLorean Gray for us. So DeLorean, go ahead and take a little bit of a bow. And on the count of 3, let's all take a nice little bow for our audience. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. My friends, thank you for watching. Synergy Theater is here online every Thursday at 6 o'clock p.m. and Friday at 7 o'clock p.m. California time. Tomorrow at 7 o'clock, Loretta Chantel over there, who's really Eileen Tumlin, is going to be bringing back the show that we debuted last week that she created and directed, and that is Cabin Pressure, an airplane disaster show. Last week's debut was an absolute riot. Please come back tomorrow at 7 o'clock p.m. and watch our second installment of Cabin Pressure. If you think improvisation looks like fun watching us do it, it is a whole lot of fun. And if you would like to give it a try, you can. Synergy Theater teaches classes. We have something for everyone from the pure beginner all the way up to the seasoned professional. Go to synergytheater.com, click on School of Improvisation, and take a class with Synergy Theater. We are here and we are going to be here providing free live online improvisational theater for as long as this pandemic keeps us all inside. And although it is free for our audience, it is not free for us. It does cost money to produce these shows. And as a nonprofit organization, 501c3 charitable organization, we always rely on the generosity of our audience and our patrons to help us fulfill our mission of building a better world through the art of improvisation. If you can help us out now, the world has never been in more need of being better than it is right now. Please go to synergytheater.com, click on Support Synergy Theater. Any amount of money you can offer us right now to help us continue would be deeply, deeply appreciated. My friends, thank you so much for being here. Stay safe, stay healthy, and always remember that Synergy Theater loves you. Good night.